with you, Aaron. How's your quarterback?
He's a good player.
The last time we saw him was not in the bowl game, but we saw him with a healthy spring. How's his health?
He's in great shape right now. In fact, he's really changed his body a lot since last year, which he was already a, impressive guy, but he's in great shape right now and looking really good.
What's the most challenging thing about dealing with Jaren Hall's offense at practice, Ilaisa?
Everything. I mean, he can run, he can throw, he's accurate, really smart, just a phenomenal player.
How about for the secondary, trying to keep tabs on him? What does Hall bring that makes it difficult for the guys back there?
He plays from deep to short. He can throw the ball deep, and it stretches out the defense, and then the rest of the holes become a little bit bigger underneath when you have to protect the deep ball. He's very good at it.
Jim McMahon told me yesterday, he said, give me 5 guys up front that want to fight, and I don't care who my receivers are or who my running back is. We're going to go win games. The 5 guys you've got in front of Hall, and then the 5 guys after him, a group of 10. A lot of people talked about maybe potentially the best offensive line that BYU's had, if not ever, at least in a long time. Tell me about the momentum these guys up front are developing.
Yeah, I don't want to make any
well, you don't have to.
Grandiose statements about best ever or anything, but we have 7 or 8 guys who have started against Power 5 opponents and played well for us. And then you add Kingsley, who is right there as good as any of them. It's a really good group, and thought they did a great job last year. There was no drop off from the year before against a tougher schedule, more physical defenses, and I'm excited to see how they get better this year.
Touchdown percentage in the red zone was just under 75%, number 3 in the country. The execution once you get inside the 20 has been very good. How do you build on that?
Yeah, we want to be number 1. That's our goal. We want to be the best red zone team in college football. That's our goal every year. We practice it as much as, we probably practice it more than most teams, and put a lot of attention on it. And getting touchdowns when we get down there is the goal. And then Kalani is great about using all 4 downs. That's one big part of our success is we don't, and Ed's on board with that. We're not kicking field goals unless we have to.
You look at Puka Nacua and Gunnar Romney in your receiving corps. How hard will it be to decide who's the 3rd starter in that group?
Well, right now it's Keanu Hill.
Yeah.
He earned that last year. I have a lot of respect for Keanu. Played a big role in the first game of the season when Gunnar got hurt, and then didn't play a lot for several games, and he didn't pout. He just kept working, and then when he got his chance about mid-season, he got his chance to play again. He's played well every time he's gotten a chance. So Gunnar and Puka are they're our 2 lead guys for sure, and Keanu would be the next man up right now. And then we've got some other good players after him.
How deep is this room, this receiver room, and how many options does it give you in your play calling?
The room is deep, and I would say, Gunnar, Puka are clearly our veteran guys, the go-to guys. And then when you consider the depth we have at tight end and running back, we can put some pretty interesting personnel groups on the field.
What's your perspective, Ilaisa, on this offense?
It's, I've been around, you mentioned the O-line, I've been around a bunch of different O-lines, just coaching the D-line. And, I feel this is really, really good, tough offensive linemen. They're big, physical, smart, they're fast, and, tough to deal with in practice, but definitely makes our guys better.
What game last year taught you the most about what you need to do to become better, not only for this season, but into the new conference? Was there a particular one?
Well, the Baylor game was the one Big 12 team we played,
Yeah.
so, I mean, there's a lot of lessons in that game, things we can do better.
And have you addressed those things?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what they are, but we've addressed those things.
It's still June.
But I think we also learned a lot just from playing all those Power 5 teams last year.
Yeah.
And finding ways to win. I think that was one thing we really learned last year is, if we need to throw for 350 yards to win, we can do that. If we need to run the ball and eat clock and grind it out and win just by 1 more point than the other team in a tight game, we can do that too. We learned that just finding a way to win is all that matters, and we can do it.
With that line and with your scheme, do you see another 1,000-yard rusher in this group with Chris Brooks or Katoa or any of the others?
Wouldn't be surprised at all to see Chris do that, yeah. And we've got some other good players there too that I think are capable. Chris is earned the right in spring ball to get the first shot at it.
In what ways have you noticed the defense has gotten better this offseason?
Well, first of all, our defense is always tough to deal with, but the main way they've gotten better is just getting healthy. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, when they've got all their guys out there, they're tough to deal with. And then I just think the other thing is just development. A lot of young players that you see on the field, they get better with playing time. And so a lot of those guys that were young last year, maybe made some rookie mistakes or whatever. Well, now they're a year older, more experienced, they know what they're doing. And I think that's one thing we do well in this program is develop young guys and watch them get better.
Ilaisa, you were running a mass unit at times out there last season. How's the health of your key players?
Yeah, it'll be good to get all those guys back. You know, we're obviously I think that the bigger ones were those backers that we lost, but you know, it's really been fun to watch some of the other guys step up when we were missing them. And like A-Rod was saying, I mean,
Was Ben Bywater like the biggest surprise of? I mean, the walk-on is your leading tackler after you lose Peely and Wilgar, and those two guys will be out here in a minute.
Yeah. I mean, Ben did a phenomenal job and stepped up and grew a bunch while those guys were missing. And now that they're back, it'll be fun to watch all of them play together.
In your defensive secondary, I think we might have more graduates playing in the season opener than we've ever had back there.
Yeah, that's it. COVID year was a benefit for a lot of people that way, where you get a lot more graduates, and been great for us to have guys graduate and still stick around instead of leaving.
Getting pressure on the quarterback is a priority of yours, and I think your defensive line may be as deep as Aaron's offensive line, with guys that have been in there and got some battle scars. What do you expect from the guys up front, led by Tyler Batty?
We've got a good deep group. We've got I think we're 3 deep right now at the D line. Feel comfortable about any of those 3 groups getting into the game and contributing, and I think that they can do a lot of good things for us this year.
And this team's 21-4 over the last 25 games. Offense, defense, and special teams, they all have to work together. As you reflect on what these two have going on, what are your thoughts heading into the new season?
I've got a high level of confidence with the guys I work with. They deserve a lot of credit for developing this team. You don't win games without really good players, but I think the coaches recruit those players, develop those players, instill confidence in those players, and I think you've got 2 experts right here sitting between us.
They're all happy with healthy players. I ran into Jake Oldroyd the other day, and I said, "How you feeling?" He said, "I feel great," which has got to make the special teams coach feel even better.
That's right. He's a weapon, and we're better when we have him healthy.
He was down with a back issue periodically through last season. Has that been rectified and all those issues behind him?
Yeah, those are, I guess that's kind of coach speak. I can't tell the future, but those are soft tissue injuries. They've been minor injuries in the past. They've been minor setbacks, and he's come back. And as most of our team is feeling right now, they're in good health, good condition, and looking forward to the season.
Ryan Rico, your punter, he'd lead the country, I think, if he'd punt more often.
That's right.
Which is, you can blame Aaron
Good problem
for
to
a
have.
lot of that. But as he moves forward and looks that he's got the size and the strength to get a job as a punter down the road, what are his expectations for this season?
His expectations for the season are the same as the day he walked on campus when I said, we recruited you as an athlete and we'd like to try you at tight end or defensive end. And he said, I'm going to be an NFL punter. I would like to just focus on that. And that's what he's worked towards. That's the standard he holds himself to, and I think we'll see that.
Does he remind you of any of your old teammates? We've had some big punters over the years that could be at other positions.
Yeah, I think some of those guys have just been more big. This guy, Ryan Rico, is one of our fastest big men on the team.
Yeah.
He is really athletic. When he goes into the off-season conditioning, agility drills, he looks like he's another position.
Question for all 3 of you. How has the Big 12 invitation that came last September affected recruiting from the offensive side?
I think, just the biggest thing is people can't use that against us now that we're not a legitimate P5
Does that
team.
make you happy a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, that just got tired of fighting that, but they're really, all we could do is just beat those teams when we, do our best to beat those teams when we played them. Now we're at that level, and I think that's a huge thing.
Ilaisa?
Yeah, we're still BYU, and there's still a specific type of kid we're looking for, but it definitely opens a couple more doors that probably wouldn't be in just because of what A-Rod was talking about.
Ed?
I think they said it well. There's no successful door-to-door salesman. We talk about doors being open that stands there and keeps knocking on the door that's closed. We've always wanted the very best players we could recruit here, and in the past we've had to work within our parameters and develop a lot of maybe under-the-radar players. And I think we're going to be able to cast a wider net now.
It does take you into Middle America and keep you there where BYU's never been. What opportunities does that provide? I mean, you still look at Texas, and you still go to Arizona, you still go to California, and all, but now you're in all these states that
I don't think we know yet. I don't think we know yet, and
Yeah?
I think that's going to be something that evolves as we start playing those games, and you know, it starts with winning. You got to win the games and be good, and if you're relevant, then the footprint can grow. You know, and like Ed was saying, you can cast a bigger net as you have success. But I think it's too soon to say right now what that means. But definitely being in the Big 12 has just at least checked off that one box that we can say we are a Power 5 team. We're not just trying to be independent and play those teams.